Hi, I'm Krayl Funch, and today we are out in the garden. We're at the potting table, and we are going to be creating a container garden that's going to go out on the upstairs patio, starting from seed, and we're going to grow some great vegetables, herbs, and we're going to try out some new tools that I just got. Now, in between the intro and now, we had a pretty good rainstorm, so we found out that we definitely need to remove the plug from this container so that the water can drain properly. So you want to go ahead and make sure you do that. And then what we're going to do is stick some of these broken pieces of pottery in there. And what this does is it helps the water drain, but then the soil does not fall through. So that's an important part here. Then we're going to go ahead and fill this up with some of our organic soil. You want to make sure you use organic soil when you are planting anything that you're planning on eating or consuming or feeding to anyone. So I'm going to fill this up with some of our organic soil. And then what I like to do is I'm going to top this off with a little bit of potting soil, or seed starting soil, I'm sorry. So this is potting soil, and then we're going to top it off with some seed starting soil because we're going to be starting seeds, and we want to make sure that they have a really good base. So put the majority of your soil is going to be the regular soil, and then we're going to add in some organic seed starting soil. So you can just top that off with this. Now because it's dry, it's going to take up a little bit more space than it would, so go ahead and fill it right up to the top, and then we will put also an additional layer on there. Okay, I think I'm going to add even a little bit more, because as the soil gets wet, it's going to reduce in space and compact a little bit more. So you want to really make sure that it's pretty full. Alright, I think that's a good start. Okay, now for this, I like to use just a spade, just to even this out, and these OXO spades are awesome. You can actually tell the depth. So on various seeds, some of them will say what depth you want to plant them. This is the majority of these seeds. We're going to plant at just beneath the soil, but you have just about a 1-inch depth. So you want to get a feel for that. We're going to start to create some lines. Okay, now in this I'm also going to mix a variety of seeds in there. So get about a 1-inch depth in your soil. Alright, so you can see the 1-inch on there. And then I am going to take off my gloves because these seeds are going to be pretty small. Alright, I'm going to start with some chives. Alright, these chives, so in particular it says to seed depth of about 1/4 inch. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is sow these across the front. Now these are going to be pretty heavily sowed, and then later you can move them into different pots. But if you have a larger space, go ahead and feel free to section these out, and once they start to grow, you can get a feel for what kind of container you need to move those into. Alright, so we had our chives in there. I'm then going to use some of these bell pepper sweet, sorry, they are Purple Beauty. I'm going to probably move them into different containers once they sprout and they're large enough to be moved. Okay, so these seeds, we're going to get quite a few of these. So we don't know exactly what's going to come up. So this borage is a full sun annual, and it is a great, actually, an edible flower. So we're going to make sure we put some of those in. And again, 1/4 inch depth. Nice, okay. Put those aside. Now I do like to keep these containers so I remember what I've put in there and what I've planted. Use our spade again to add a little bit of soil. I'm going to cover these. I want to make sure don't move the seeds. Add enough to cover them, just about a 1/4 inch. So that's just pretty lightly on there. Alright, once those are in there, I'm going to go ahead and water it and put it out in the sun. I love this watering can. It has a movable nose or nozzle there, So we can move this right across the front, make sure they get a good watering. Don't water them so much that the seeds move around. I'm Krayl Funch. Thanks so much for being here, and I hope you check us out on Instagram. We're going to be posting how these little beauties are doing and how the little seeds are growing up. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and come on over to the blog anappealingplan.com for more inspiration for your home, garden, and gatherings. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.